Hello, everybody. Welcome to Level Up Academy. I know I don't do any live shows on Saturday, but tonight is a super special night for 27 different souls, including me, is the 27th. Okay. I am super excited that some of our co authors, amazing people, are here tonight to enjoy and also really let you know their journey on this anthology as we continue to inspire the world. So let's go ahead and start and we'll go from there. All right, see you in a little minute. But first, if you have
Are you a curious student, eager to learn new skills and make your mark in the world? Or are you a professional seeking to advance your career and unlock your full potential? You need to be equipped with effective soft skills like communication, problem solving, teamwork, and more. The Level Up Academy by Doc Leland bridges the gap between education and employment through transferable skills training. Get the soft skills you need to be more effective at work.
hello, hello, guess what? Okay, so on Tuesday, March 26th, we have Dr. Bose that's going to teach us mini courses, really mini masterclass on tips on home deductions and possibly write-offs for your business. We all are solopreneur, gigapreneur, or any types of business owners out there who are needing some guidance. You know, taxes is around the corner, right? I'm just saying. So this is the best time to learn from an amazing human being with what, over 50 years of experience. Hello. All right. So it's amazing class. Go ahead and sign up. It is free. And then also tomorrow, we're going to be talking a little bit about it, right? The must know tax tips for business owners. I have some that I can share, but you might as well get it from the expert, right? And then we'll go from there. So hopefully you guys will be able to make it tomorrow night at 7 p.m. same time. That will be on TV. And if you are in our YouTube channels and you haven't subscribed and like, please do. If you have any questions or comments, please do. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and also pushing that notification bell. Moving forward, my Sunday and Thursday TV show will not be on LinkedIn. It will solely be on Facebook and also on YouTube. We're going to streamline a little bit on those processes and then we'll go from there. But tonight, are you guys ready? Oh, we're going to talk about the books. Here's the deal. With this book, with this amazing anthology, right? Like, amazing people are on here pouring their heart out. And really, at the end of the day, we want to inspire others who are going through the same adversity that we went through and thriving. When every purchase of this book, moving forward between now and even June 15th, it's going to be helping really three things or two things. One is that you're giving, well, three. One is you're giving the farmers some jobs. We're actually, I'm picking Africa, part of Africa. Obviously, there's a lot of countries in there, but part of Africa to give farmers jobs. And then also with that job, where basically I'm buying, or at least this is my manifestation to you guys, I'm committed to buy one tree for every single co-author, including myself. So we're going to be planting 27 trees with your help. With that in mind, we're also going to be hitting 5 of 17 goals from the United Nations. If you don't know already, back in the past, when my kids were still little, I was one of the ambassador for United Nations for women and girls. And so we create circles, literally, which I'm doing with Level Up Circle, is circles of communication for women and girls, especially on leadership, how to be a leader, how to, making sure that bullying at school is not happening. My daughter, my oldest, was bullied at school. So that was my heart's intention, is to avoid those things and work with moms, work with school administrators, work with children who are not non-English speakers, because I was one of them. And work also with stay-at-home moms who can't get a job because they don't have a job. And I had a doctorate, okay, and I couldn't get a job. So I work with people who wants to go back to work when they had previously a job. It's just a matter of tweaking your resume. So I work with different groups and different individuals to ensure fairness and equality. And I believe education is the what equality for everybody. It's really just education, not necessarily formal education, but really kindness, compassion, and also information. So with that said, I'm going to bring in my partner in crime. You guys ready? Yes, no, maybe so. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, there she is. Hello, sister.
Morning.
What's up?
It's another launch day. That's what's up.
Yeah, I feel like we're launching every week. Seems like, I
We
mean, we
did.
worked so hard, and we had nights where after midnight we were still trying to do stuff.
Yep.
And with my daughter on my shoulder yelling she wants something else at CVS at midnight, right? Like literally. And bulldog snoring, and we can't hear each other. You're like, what? What do you mean, period, comma? Um,
But
yeah,
the
we had
bulldog snoring is calming.
until you're like, I think I'm hearing Cheerio in my kitchen. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
she's right next to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh.
It just
It's been
grows
an
on you.
amazing journey, right?
It's
Has it been
it's
a amazing
been
journey?
it's been a wild journey, and actually, it wasn't as bad to herd the 27 cats that we had to.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, they were all.
it was interesting, yet by the time it was done, it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I think I surpassed my goal for this one. I had a side note conversation with Steven today, actually. I told him that I like it when I do have him on the audio rooms because he has a calming way of
Mhm.
saying things, and he's very level-headed. He's basically like the version of Dr. New on the male version. I'm like, I appreciated that, honestly.
Right.
And I think that when people do a good job, you shouldn't hide it. You should tell them that they're doing a good job, and also that they're making a difference in your life. And so when I see someone making a difference in my life, I will always make it a habit to tell them, right? And so I told Steven, I'm like, thank you, I appreciated you. And then he got an email today from somebody. I'm not gonna say nothing, but that really touched my heart as well. I was like, oh, even though it wasn't for me, it was for you. I'm happy for you because we're a
Exactly.
team. We are a team, right? And I really take it to heart with collaboration over competition. But we have amazing sisters and brothers here tonight, so we're just gonna bring them up. Are you ready?
Bring them up.
Bring them all. Hi, Vix. I mean, Danielle. Inside joke. Unmute, sister.
I'm I just realized I was muted. Good evening, and yes, I love Vix. It reminds me of my late grandmother. Love her.
I love Vix. They have the lavender now. Did you know that? The lavender Vix?
No, did you know that they have those the ones that you could put in your shower now? It like
Oh, right. The
I was gonna
steaming
say
thing, right?
decimate. That's not the word. Yeah,
Let's not. Let's not. Oh,
disintegrate. No, is that
yes.
Susanna, help me out. Uh, what melt? No, that's not it either. There's another word. Maybe Stephen or New or
It's dispersed.
Dr. Ghost.
We'll wait for Steven. I'm sure
Yeah.
Steven has the
Are you
word.
talking about those bath bomb type things or what?
Yeah, it's like you put it in the shower and it just like emanates this lovely Vicks smell. It like
Yeah.
embraces me with so much love.
I
Not
have
familiar
those.
with that one.
Oh, Steven's like, what are you guys talking about? Look at him.
Vicks.
So confused.
No, I'm just honoring the experience, right? Because it doesn't matter what we bond to. It's the VIX. When we talk about VIX, it just reminds me of like growing up, and that's what grandma and my mom like. They'd rub it on your feet, they'd rub it on your chest, and you felt better. And you know what? When you're going through some tough times, how nice is it to just feel a little better?
Yes.
Yes. Speaking a little bit better, let's bring in Dr. Michelle. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great.
Awesome. Let's bring in our bro. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, sis?
What's
Always
with it?
good.
Nothing
Always
much.
great to be here. What's happening?
Nothing much. And of course, Dr. No. All right. We have
Ooh.
everyone. Mr.
Hello.
Susanna, start us off. What do you have questions for our amazing co-authors?
I want to know, what was the hardest part of this journey?
Hmm.
Because it's easy to say what was the easiest part, but what is something that you felt like was the hardest part? Because this is good for us to know for the next book.
Steve raised his hand first. I see. So
So
go.
I,
Steve.
I do have my hand raised, and the hardest part is it's the authenticity of realizing that we're vulnerable, right? We are not perfect, and when you go through a difficult time, there's an energy that's attached to what you've experienced, and that can be a hard time in your life. right? You can go through a realization and you can go through a growth, but there's still an energy attached to that growth. And for myself, it was this. It's as you write about it, you worry
Hmm.
about, is somebody going to judge me, right? Is somebody going to view my words as being less than? And what we come to is we realize that this is a universal problem. The universal problem is that we're worried about other people judging us, but the people that judge us are the ones that will judge us anyways. And the people that are in our court, the people that care about us, will not judge us. And those people will be empathic, they'll be supportive, and they realize that what we've been through is real, and they will support us on this journey. So the hardest part is realizing that our tribe is the people that support us and not the people that will judge us.
Well,
That's all I have.
yes. Love that. I guess I'll go after Steve. That was some great groundwork you laid, brother. That was some good foundational knowledge, and I think that definitely falls under the heading of imposter syndrome. We kind of go over that with you know uh, connecting that with the aspect of winning, which is definitely a universal language, and winning to fail. When we fail forward, before you can learn to win, you have to learn failure. To appreciate winning, you have to know the value of failure. You fell first, right? John Maxwell has a great saying that I often use myself, and it definitely helped me in the grassroots stages of building my company, Permission Entertainment. Is coming in with the aspect of that it's okay to fail and it's okay to be vulnerable and it's okay, and authenticity is what winning is all about, right? But I think the hardest part for me was knowing that we all had this baby in the oven, like a mother. I liken this to a mother who's been carrying this baby for a little bit, and and it's going to do great things, and just all this pressure, taking the URE off of this pressure that we encountered, right, sis, right, sisters and brothers, right? Just the anticipation of it coming out, because you just know you're getting ready to share this part of you with the world. And I think that was probably the challenging part. While I'm telling you to grow with the flow, I'm like, all right, we pray, like, come on now, let's release this baby, let's get this baby out, let's get it out, right? That's that. So I think that was more of the challenge with me personally, internally, and it came out and did great things. We grew with the flow, grow with the flow, right? Yeah, that's it for me.
Anybody else, Dr. Do?
So for me, I think what Stephen and Willie both did a wonderful job of really telling us how our journey, and I think all of us can really be in that position. And something else is that I think when we write and we share our stories, there's part of us, even if we heal, right? You have to relive that moment. You have to go back and really see what parts you want to share. And that is because we're limited on words, right? There's so much that you want to share, but also is that what is it? The intention is hard, not only what the impact that you want to leave, because the impact, what we go through, and we all go through adversity and triumphs in our own right, in our own, you can't compare, right? All of us go through, because I can't live what Willie go through, and vice versa. Willie won't be. It was like I can't imagine that. But I think as we go through, and we have to pick, what do you want the readers to really get a sense of who we are? How do we live and how our life? Because it's not all shiny, right, Willie? It's not like the celebrity that always give you that,
I
I
promise.
made it, and it's quick success. You just believe it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
go with the guru and all the people that
right.
tells you you can spend all the money in the world. That doesn't
Mm,
really define your success, right? And
so
that is
true.
what, that sometimes that vulnerability of telling us, when telling all other people through our story, is that don't judge the book by its cover. There's so many ups and downs, the storm of life that will get, it will hit you. It's just how you deal with it, how you get up, how you move forward, how can you inspire and empower others. But you have to do the work first, right? We cannot inspire and empower anyone if we're still in that victim mode of crying and having a pity party, right? You cannot. You have to overcome that. And then when you're ready to show the world what all the pains and all the scar that you have to go through, you can be able to share that moment so that way people can understand beauty is not just beauty as in thin, really pretty, wearing masks. No, beauty is embrace all of it, even the ugly, the when you have moments you have to cry by yourself, tears going down, all those we have to embrace. And I'm sure those who write their story, we have moments when our tears just falling down, right? No matter how grounded we are, because we're human and all of us make mistakes and we all go through life that we feel like is impossible, and when we relive it and say, how did I overcome that, right? And then you really go back and saying, this is who I am because you've done the work, because you made it through here. Now we want to share to inspire our next generation, our next kids, or someone walking behind us and looking after Willie, Steve, Danielle, Susanna, CJ, and Michelle, and saying, how did you do what you do? When you go through life by the storm, and that is what the ultimate of what Beyond Boundary is all about. All of our authors are amazing, and I'm just so honored to be a part of this
Yeah.
community, and we are bonded forever for life. And I'm really grateful for, CJ for putting this anthology together, and of course Susanna, for both of you for really not only putting your hearts and soul, because we are better together. And that is what truly this anthology is about, true collaboration. And you shine the spotlight on every single one of us, and I think that is the what we need to get the world better. Let's not just look on ourselves, let's shine the light on others. We
Yeah.
are better together. So love you all. That's my message.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I want to hear from Dr. Bose. I know she has a lot of challenges during this anthology, and she made it anyway. She doesn't make excuses for nothing, and so I want to hear from her.
Oh, mine was the journey on this one was 2.5 weeks of going through everything. And I am quite a ways into my adulthood. And it dawned on me when I was with 2.5 weeks, and it just dawned on me that everything I went through, it was all growing with my parents, the family. It was growing. We were all growing. We were going forward, but there are hurdles you go over. There's hurdles you got to go through. And I sat down and I'm going, this is how I'm going to deliver it. It's going to be the outcomes because I'm so far into my adult life. And landing where I've landed, I wanted to know how I got here. I wanted to know how I went through all of it and just plowed through it. And it was about positive outcomes. All that went down, everything that went through, my entire family went through, my private life with my husband, all that we went through, what came out of it? And I sat down and I start writing out the outcomes of it. And I'm going, wow, this is what happened to me. Wow, I came out stable. You got to be joking. Because our childhood is anything but being stable every second. It's those ups and downs and ins and outs. And please don't ground me. It's going through the hurdles of your life. It's learning. It's a huge learning curve, and you don't know it. And you go through this and you get into that adult life, man. It is challenging, but you also don't acknowledge it. But you go through it and you push and you drive it, and you'll do anything to come out of it positive. You push it. and you get it resolved in some level, it becomes resolved. Doesn't mean it's completely resolved, but it's most of the way. So I approached it from a unusual perspective. I went for the outcomes. What I learned from it. Where I am now. How did I get here? How did it just streamed literally forward despite anything that came up against. It just went forward and kept going forward. No matter how many times I ended up in the mud puddle and then in the pond and then dragging myself out, climbing a mountain, man, trying to get over those hurdles. Yet we all do in our own way. And to take a look at our past, how we got here, and then take a look at where we're sitting. I put together many companies through my time, through all of everything that should never work. I literally didn't give up on it. I drove it. How successful it was successful to me. I'm the hardest critic. so so if I could uh, be that judgmental on me and take a look in the mirror. I've really come a long way. Blew my mind when I wrote it. I just go, wow, I've come a long way. I don't even live in my home state. I haven't for 48 years, 49 years. I haven't even lived in my home state. I walked. I just left. I decided since there's no jobs, there's no way to put food on the table, no way to put a roof on your head. I tried another part of the United States. Only I went over 2,000 miles to do that. And I was determined. And when it comes to friends and all of this, there was nobody there. it's hi, it's me. Got to do something about it. You got to get out there. You got to meet people. Hello. That's how I did it. I just determined that this is who I am, and you just go. Okay, you hit
I
a few
love.
bumps. I mean, I've walked in trees. I
Yeah,
have just
I
nailed
know.
trees. You,
I love that
it's
you've
just
done that.
fun. I
It's
believe it
just
or not, through some of the hardships, I turned it into fun. Exactly what you don't do, I did. I decided that if it's going to be like this, have fun in it. And that's not what you do. You go the other way. I went right for it. This is going to be it. I'm going to have fun in it. This may be all that I get. Fine. I'll have fun. And that's what I did. And it was a journey.
thank
Believe
you.
me, this is a journey. It's an unbelievable journey and it's worthy. Every chapter is worthy. It is everything because we all took different approaches. We all did different resolutions. We problem solved ourselves out of stuff and we problem solved ourselves into stuff. We have done it both ways. And it's exciting to find out other people's journeys. And I've been
It
enjoying the
is.
daylights out of it. It's just, to me,
I love that.
I,
I love that, Michelle,
I
because I've known you for a while and I've worked with you actually for a while. And I've seen also all your hurdles since, we've known each other. And we've written two books together now. One is academic publishing, and then this one. I'm glad you said yes to this one because it's a different way of writing. It's not APA. I had a hard time switching my academic brain on research and, business intelligence to
yes,
like I'm talking about my personal life. What do you mean? I don't know how to write that. It took me a while to switch that, and I could see your progress. And thank you for sharing that to the world because I think people should definitely know. And I love your approach on the outcome of reflection because I think often we don't reflect on what we've done. Really amazing job. We reflect on, oh my god, I don't have enough. Oh my god, I didn't do this right. Oh my god, we need to do this more often instead of like sit
yeah,
down and said, okay, what did I do right? How come I can repeat what I did right instead of what I did wrong? And like you said, just have fun with it. So, speaking of fun, thank you, Dr. Bose. Danielle, how about you, sister? What's the hardest?
Wow. Yeah, gosh. I was trying to think of what I was gonna say while everybody was talking. So I'll just speak from my heart and say, um, after my husband had two strokes in January, it was really tough. And this book really gave me an opportunity to go from surviving to thriving, to be around so many people that comforted us and are still comforting us, right? Because that reality that is etched in that book is there forever and eternal. And so reading it back and reliving it, just it's still very real and palpable. And gosh, it's so hard. But the book reminds me to continue to thrive. That every day that we wake up, we have a choice to just survive or to thrive. And I just thought to myself, because the hardest part maybe is also editing, right? Going back and then reliving it over while you're reading. And it's like, gosh, this is like a scary movie. I don't want to watch. Um, but it's like, what if someone is going through what I'm going through? What if they're in the pain that I was in those days, thinking that my husband was going to die? Then I need to put this out to give them peace and power to thrive, and lift them up in that time of uncertainty, right? Because we're still riding those ebbs and flows right now, to be honest. But it's okay, because we have each other. And and yeah, that was the hardest part, reliving it every time we had to edit, but knowing that we're writing this for someone that's going through some hardship, and needs to hear these words from us, to say that even in these times of uncertainty, let it lift you up, because every day and every moment that you continue, you survive, and you can go to thriving. So, yeah, that was the hardest part, reliving.
I
Yeah.
love it. Susanna, your turn.
Herding cats. How's that for an answer?
Not allowed.
Oh, come on. But I mean, actually, everybody's kind of hit most of the spots that I can think of, especially the one that most people don't think about. Um, yeah, I'm hearing echoes. So, um, the the one that's everybody talk about the most, that is the most difficult, is that reliving of everything. So you never know when. I'm the mute. You never know when you're going to hear, or you never know when you're going to come across a memory, an experience that you had that maybe you forgot, yet when it shows up, it can crush you in that moment. And then you get through it, because it's also a healing process. And after you've gotten through it, you, like Danielle said, you get to the edits and you can relive it again. And it's going to be painful as you do that, but the pain will be less, and the pain will be less. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave it.
I think for me, the hardest part is keeping track of everything, because despite of me being a co-author, I have a million moving parts that people don't see. From I have to think ahead before anything else, right? So confession time, Susanna and I wrote our piece maybe a day before it was due. That's why you couldn't see the edits.
Oh wow.
Literally, I wrote 3,000 in like we were late. Like because we didn't care. We know how we write and we edit each other's paper. We know how to do it.
Right.
So that was the easy part, but literally we did it maybe hours before it was due. Okay, that's the confession. I think for me, the hardest is just making sure that everyone is good, that everyone's question is answered, and that I'm looking ahead. Like, for example, with each purchase of this book with Evertreen, that went back and forth on negotiation like nobody's business. Also having in-house TV for everyone for the rest, because most anthology stops as soon as the book ends and you're done with your book, it's done. This anthology I want to continue on because it should be for your business. The reason that you want to write is because you want to be what? Helpful to people through your own experiences. So why should you stop helping people when your book stops selling? You shouldn't. Because deep inside, you don't need to sell a book to help others. It does help for your credibility, but I think we should continue our message throughout. Some of us are consultants, some of us are coaches, some of us are mentors, some of us are selling whatever. But at the end of the day, the reason that you're selling that piece of you and your time is because you want to help others. And the best way I know how is to continue that process, right? And then now I'm as I go through the journey, you guys are so patient, and I'm really testing my like testing. I cried. I even forgot Kinga's chapter. How could I do that? And she gave me grace. Okay. Susanna, I'm really gonna chat. I'm like, oh my god. And she's like, I'm crying. It's 4 in the morning. I'm like, I just woke up. Why are you crying? It's 6 in the morning. She's like, I haven't slept. It's my fault. I apologize. And she was so graceful. But one thing that I know is as a leader, right, as a leader of the project, is that you don't make excuses. You take that ownership that you missed it and you fix it right away and move on,
Yeah.
right? Because I can't control. And then Amazon literally crap on me all over. I couldn't control that. And I cried. I've been crying for days because I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I can't control it. And so I have to take my own advice that you can't control everything. You can only control your own actions. This tested my patience for real, this project, because there were so many pieces that's uncontrollable for me that I had to take a deep breath and just let go. And as if that wasn't enough, there was more stuff coming in. I'm like, Lord, are you really testing me right now? Is there like a lesson learned that I'm not like? What's the agenda for life? Because right now I'm up to here. I'm just saying, and my dog looks at me like I'm crazy. I literally am talking to the wall, and I'm like, I think it's
Yeah.
time to read the Bible. Maybe I'm really sinning a lot right now. I do curse a lot, so I was like, oh man, I need to repent today. Um, I asked my pastor, I'm like, can you pray for my soul? And every time sister over here goes to church on Sunday, I'm like, please pray for my soul. I'm sinning a lot. I'm punished like a lot right now. But if you really think about it, instead of complaining to all the things that's gone wrong, I've reflected and said, what could have I done differently? Because even if I made so many mistakes and I stumble and I get up and I stumble and I get up, I'm still going to do it again. It's not going to stop me. I'm glutton for punishment. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it again. And the reason for doing it's not because of me. It's because of you guys. Like that smile and that like gratefulness and that like hey reflection and what Gabe said, in his chapter and everyone's chapter, it really touched my heart. Like even just reading it, even if we were the best kept secret and no one knows about our story, just me knowing each and every one of you pouring your heart out, I was like, wow. So for me, the hardest part is keeping myself sane because I was my best enemy. It has nothing to do with you guys. It was me and my process. And I love the challenge, but it also taught me a lot about myself. Like I've grown exponentially in the last 2 months. It taught me patience. It taught me to take my own advice and swallow a big one right there. And it taught me like it's hard when you're giving someone advice and you have to take your own at the same time. But it also taught me that community is everything. Community is everything. right? What I do want, because I did promise Steven that I will read this because we were talking about it. Side note, if you guys, for all the co-authors who's going to do team replay, I want to give you the reason why I did the chapters, how I did it in terms of order. I read every single chapter, every single one of your chapters. I read fast also, just FYI. While I was doing this editing, guys, I had 12,000 pages that I had to grade for my students. Just FYI. While I was doing your editing. Okay? I'm just saying. And I really thought about it. You guys actually were my best break because when I was so tired of thinking about my PhD students or my MBA students, I'm like, oh, but I want to read this chapter right now and edit because it's so good. And that was my ADHD moment. And when I literally read your chapter and I look at your title, I put this in this sequence, and I'm glad that my sister Susanna agreed. Like, yes, that's good. So the sequence begins with acknowledging personal flaws, and that's the reason why I started with crystals because of her quest for love, right? And then it progresses through the journey of self discovery with Sister Susanna. Then everyone else is overcoming internal and external challenges. And then it culminates in achieving personal transformation. We had success, newfound understanding, utilization of one's strengths, right? And then, of course, I ended it with it's okay if you have a mental illness like me with ADHD and neurodiversity. Sometimes we basically, people sometimes make it fun, like, oh, it's okay. ADHD is really nothing. You don't understand. It's so hard to have ADHD um, because you're arguing with yourself. I wonder if
Yeah.
my parents knew I had ADHD when I was born because they literally have four names for me. So when I'm in an argument, it could be a Constance that's coming out, or a Jeffer, or a James, or a Dablo, or a Chua in there somewhere. That's my full name, right? But really, finishing sometimes in a project and reliving like my hardest realization that I was different when I was little and I got bullied for it all day, all night. And telling you because I forget a lot of things. Honestly, I just forgot a lot of things today, right now at this moment, right? And you don't even mean to forget. It's just your brain functions is different. And when you forget things, you're not included in a lot of activities or a lot of things. It's because she's not reliable because she forget things, right? But when I'm on my zone of my genius, I can create amazing things. But some of us are not even given that chance because you're being judged from one activity. She can't do this, therefore she's out. We're not even given a chance, right? And so for me, if I'm not given a chance, I create my own chances. I create my own opportunities. And that's really what I want people to know, that even if you have a bipolar or ADHD or depression or anxiety or whatever you're going through, create your own opportunities. Don't wait for people to give them to you. And that collaboration over competition is super important, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to also end this circle right now with what do you want people to know from your chapter? Like one lesson learned. There's a lot in there, but what is the one lesson learned that you want people to get out of? And I'm going to start with Sister New.
Yes, sister have to call me out first. Oh, let me think. What should I think of? How there's a lot, but in the face of adversity, you know, having a gratitude for this little things becomes your greatest strength. It reminds us, of the abundance that we have surrounding us, and even in the most challenging times, and the choice that we have to choose positive is a choice that we make every day. When we focus on the good a blessing in every situation to bless you with the challenge so that you can overcome the obstacle with being resilient and having grace, right? And we have to start with love and empathy. That is how you can not only be the change that you want to see in the world, but let the world see the changes and their own transformation through the lens of love. You have to be able to understand, forgive others, to be able to create that space for transformation and growth within yourself. We want whatever outside, but until we really hone in and do our inner work, we're not going to show up. We're not going to be able to thrive. We're not going to be able to shine the light of positivity, that love, because we have to be in that breathing moment every single moment. When we have that in your bone, your DNA, your blood, it become a much bigger force than you, because there's so much that you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing something much higher than yourself, because you have a mission, you have a purpose. When you align all those and you know who you are, but be respectful of others, that's how you're able to hone in that gratitude, and it will guide you to not only hope, but that transformation and healing of your own self. And you will see the world differently. You will see your own transformation and the others around you. And that is how I see. So
Thank
much
you.
love to you all.
Yeah, I love it. Steven, your turn.
So let me let me unmute here. Can you hear me okay? Um, the importance of this whole process is this idea of it's coming to grips with our own self-reflection, right? It's the importance of our self-reflection. It's rediscovering our own self-worth through boundary setting. And part of this is confronting our own fears. It's that fear of not being good enough. If we can embrace that, if we can transform our lives through recognizing that we've got some wounds and that boundary setting is a way to protect against those wounds, giving us a chance to heal. If we can heal, then we don't need those boundaries anymore. And to me, that is a beautiful place to be. It's this realization that we're on this journey. We're not perfect, but it's a beautiful journey. This life is amazing. And I am so honored and so thankful to be on this journey with all of you, because you inspire me, you teach me, and you make this life better. So thank you so much, my friends.
Thank you, Steven. That's so amazing. Hi, Chris. Dr. Bose, how about you?
All this time in my adult life, everything that I've done on low income or unlivable income. And that includes education. I took 20 years to get an AA degree. Then they had student loans. Oh, here I come. I would not back off. I've worked 2 and 3 jobs. I've taken care of my husband because he's faced death a few times. No way. If I can do it on low income and unlivable income, so can everybody else. And I've been through unbelievable factors, and I opened up and I went for communication, and it's how it all started, was communication. I was being recommended by total strangers that I met for 10, 15 seconds to other people that got in contact me to do business with. And I'm going, this is interesting. This is this is taking everything that I lived through in childhood and bringing it out and working with others that absolutely have a journey. And it's what put me in teaching. It's what I wanted to do more than anything, was teach. And I got hired. I got hired. Wow, I got hired. Teaching? Oh, I don't stay in my lane, and everybody knows it. I'm an accountant, but I don't stay in my lane. I absolutely reach out and work with everybody. And that's why this particular design of book was of deep interest to me. And reaching out as everybody else is reaching out, and we're coming from all different directions. And that's what's made this really a lot of fun. It's getting to meet the people on the outcome side of it, and every one of us going through what we went through. And some of us are still rolling through it, but I've I did all of mine. Seriously, I went to school with some very wealthy people, and none of them figured out I was low income.
I
I
love that.
drove
That didn't
I
stop
drove
you. That didn't
over
stop you.
I drove an oversized lawnmower. I was not driving the Porsche, and
Oh my god.
I wasn't living in the absolute middle class and above neighborhoods. I was living with the people that are here in this country from all over the world to learn, to have a better life, to have more freedom, to walk around, um, test driving the United States. And that's what I connected with, people from all over the world, and exchanging all of our different experiences through our lives to the point where we're at right now. And it became very, very, very interesting. People from all over the world. The world is very different than the United States. If nobody has
That's true.
informed you,
That
nobody's
is so
informed
true.
you. And being a teacher, I've had so many international students, and it's so much fun to blend the international students with students that are born and raised in the United States. It is fun because the exchange and the interaction is a lot, and it releases a lot of information of who we are and our driven passions. And most of the driven passions is communication and education. And that's I wrap up. I don't do
Thank
lectures.
you. I
I
know.
don't.
No worries. This is not accounting class. We're good. I love it though
I don't.
because every project that I literally offer to you, you evaluate it and you're like, yeah, I'm in it because you're reflecting on how you can add to the community, and I love that about you. So thank you for that. Willie, bro, what about you?
Hey,
What do you want
sis,
people
love it.
to know about your chapter?
Oh man, if there's anything I would love to convey to the readers is that whatever is possible for me, it's definitely possible for you. God, anything's possible. To stay in alignment with who you are. You know what I mean? You never compromise that part of you that's a winner, that we're all winners. You know, the power of collaboration. I want to thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to express and convey to the world, right? 5 different countries, right? Number one. And the things you go through to get to, you grow through to get to. That's what growing with the flow is. Winning isn't perfect. Um, People have this false ideology that, you know, winning is going to always, but it's worth it. It's not perfect. Winning isn't perfect, but it's worth it because you get to empower, you get to collaborate with dream teams like this. This is our third book together, right, sis? You and Susanna, right? We've had a few number ones together, and that collaboration over competition, that is winning. No dream team or no team have won championships. Kobe's, the Jordans, the Lakers. These are my favorite players, ball players. You know, had I not been into arts and entertainment, I had an opportunity to play basketball, and you know, I was an athlete. So arts and entertainment kind of, you know, became more of a dominant factor. It was my life. So do what you love. You know, live like a winner, think like a winner, and if your mind can conceive it, as Napoleon Hill said, and you believe what's been conceived there, you never compromise that. And that any and everything win right where you are. prosper where you are. Don't wait for everything to look feasible, and because looks can be deceiving. And there's a process, through everything. Just know that winning comes with a price. It comes through pain, but that's why we say pain is gain. Leverage every moment, whether it be good or bad. Okay, and we're witnesses of that. It's this was an amazing journey, and I'm about to wrap this up. It's pretty interesting that before we ever released this book, we had big press already on it. I didn't know if they were going to mention this in the New York Weekly, right? And that was pressure, but that's good pressure, right? Top emerging celebrities, along with Beyonce, Zendaya, and the soccer player, the amazing soccer player, right? They were, and they loved the name. And it's like, I said, wait till you read these chapters, man. Wait till you read it. These are winners who have come together for a cause. And, I'm all about the cause. So I think just find a reason to win and never give in. That would be my message right there.
I
Find a
love that. And thank you for the press, by the way. You're putting us to the world in your press. I'm closing in this side. I didn't announce it to anybody yet, but this book is going to be in Business Insider.
Oh, wow.
Um,
That's
mhm.
big. Huge.
And yeah, 250 million people.
Mm,
So
that's
Warren
huge.
Buffett, the Zuckerberg, the yeah, it will be there. I was just putting in my article. They're gonna edit the heck out of it for sure. So I'm
That's
putting a press
beautiful.
release for our book, and I will also be putting our book in my website, and because my website is hooked up to a lot of magazines, so I'm gonna put it in there. And I will put all your names in there as well, so you can have SEO. I'm always thinking about you guys' SEO score, always, and working on that on YouTube as well. I have a lot of things cooking in the air, but it's good that we see each other from this perspective, because sometimes people, when they see from the outside, they just think it's super easy to do. And that's why I have a friend right now from Malaysia, and she's like, how do I go in your anthology? And I'm like, you just tell me. Like, you know what I mean? There's no process, like there's no interview, but you have to give me a synopsis of your story, because more than anything, your story matters to me, because my goal right here for Level Up Academy is to inspire and transform. We're not transactional people. You get the money, be done by. I don't want that. I want sustainable business, friendship, and relationship for life. Unless you close the door on me, then you're gone for life. But other than that, we are hooked up for life, because we want the same thing. We just want it differently, right? We want the same thing, to improve our community for our kids, for our great great grandkids. This book will forever be a legacy. Whether you guys hate my guts or not, after 10 years from now, you're stuck with me in that book. I'm just saying, okay? Just like family. You can't get rid of your family even if you want to, because your blood related. You're like, oh, shun you. You can shun me all you want, but you're still part of this book forever. I'm just saying. And I love that. Thank you for that reflection. Um, it's amazing how to see your reflection that way. Sister Danielle, what do you want people? And don't worry about the time, guys. We can have all the time. It doesn't matter. Just take your time.
And so, what I'd like to impart today is that everything we have overcome and are overcoming in my husband's recovery from having 2 strokes is that leading with your heart and leading with empathy, and also coming from that space in whichever room that you're in, whether it be your workplace or somewhere on the street, or when you're opening the door for someone, leading from that place is free. And for my husband, had people that day in the hospital led and communicated from empathy, it could have definitely impacted his quality of life positively. And so, yes, in the rooms that we come in, it's not usually life or death, you know, but coming from a space of empathy and heart can definitely change things. So definitely lead from that place. That's something that I always push, not only in my business, but also in this chapter, that we should always come from that space. So shout out to Adam. He said he likes my glasses. Thank you, brother.
Yes. Sister, how about you?
When I look at the book and I look at what I've written, I focus on the importance of being our authentic selves, the ability to, and every one of these stories does that. It it's each author's way of being who they are, being open, being vulnerable, being their authentic selves when it comes to their story and showing people what it means to really move beyond boundaries.
I love that. You're always consistent. I can always count on consistency for your message and your tagline and everything else that you do. And I appreciated that. I think for me is a reflection on my chapter is like if I have to sum up everything else, is self-compassion and patience. I lacked both, honestly. I'll be honest. I'm hard on myself because I was the only one raising myself, it felt like. So I don't
Oh
have
yeah.
self-compassion for me. I have really bad talk about myself. Like, oh my God, you're such a loser. You got your doctorate at 32. What a loser. Literally, that's happening in my head all the time. Right. And I have been living in pity world and pity city, in high rise buildings of pity city. And that's why I don't have patience. I had patience with my kids when they were 5. I don't have patience with my kids now. I'm like, what do you mean? Like literally snappy, right? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just getting old. That's my excuse anyway. But this book really, the chapter is showing you from the beginning to the end is not to have hardship that you don't have self-compassion for yourself. You need self-compassion. You need patience. And I don't mean like, oh, it'll be okay. Patience mean like it's okay. Like I have a hard time even like on traffic waiting for my kid to be on time because I have a show. Like I know I'll be on time, but I have that pressure always putting on myself. And it's not necessary because at the end of the day, it will still work out no matter what.
Yeah.
But self-compassion is everyone needs that, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of who you are, regardless of what you've accomplished. Have self-compassion. When you have doubts in your head and you're perceiving that people are talking crap about you, self-reflect. And it said, do you even care? Right? Do you even care? Why should you care? They don't live in your heads. If you live in my head, you would go nuts. All the thoughts that I would go. If I live in your head, I would go nuts because I don't know how to handle your life. But yet we like to judge people. Oh, if I was her, I would just do this and that and that. Easy for you to say until you live that life. So don't judge people based on anything. Just have self compassion and patience. And most importantly, don't judge yourself when you make a mistake. Even if you apologize for your mistakes and people don't accept your mistakes, you got it out and that's okay. But self reflect of how you could do life better, how you could communicate to people better, how you could do business with people better. And even if you love pitch slapping people in audio rooms, how can you pitch slap better without pressure? Push it is because I'm not knocking on anyone's hustle, but when you feel that people are saying no to you, don't get angry. Instead, self reflect. Maybe it's me. But then when you realize it's you, don't have a pity party. Find
Right.
out, how can I do this? And if you don't figure it out, ask the people that you just talked to, hey, I want to do better on doing this. How can I do better if you were me? I guarantee you they're gonna help you. It's the way you ask people, the way you communicate people. And we can see through, at least I can see through intentions, right? From a mile away. Instead of complaining about my calendar being in July, okay? I got so many DMs today. Your calendar. Please, I love you the same, but I don't know what to tell you. I only have limited time. I love you, everybody. For real. I'm having like stress here. I'm like, how can I divide my time? I really can't. Stop stressing me out. I'm getting wrinkles already and gray hair over here. I will definitely give time. It's just that right now the time is divided where the energy needs to be. And we have another project coming up with Susanna's anthology in May. So if you want to be in our project, we don't just pick up anybody. We pick up people with good story that are who have the heart to transform others. That's what we want. We're all about heart. Our community is all about heart, right? And that's how I wanted. And I wanted to end with a quote from everybody. Let's see, what should I? I'm gonna start with Willie over there in the middle. Bro, give me a quote.
Right. Well, continue to grow with the flow and always look at the outcome, and you take that word outcome backwards when you said it says come out. Doctor was talking about the outcome. Many times we fail to reflect on that, and there's no situation that is so difficult or no circumstance that is so unbearable that you can't come out of with God's help and the willingness to be resilient. So resilience is brilliance. Remember that.
Awesome. Dr. Bo, since she's talking about you, take it away. What's your quote?
Resilience is brilliance. That's a fact. It's real. It's real. No, I've lived it. It is.
Yeah.
You don't realize it. I'll be upfront with you. You don't realize it, but
Hmm.
you do and have since the beginning of time resilient. You just don't know about it. And the brilliance journey of life,
Yeah.
it is live and prosper at your own speed, nobody else's. It is your speed, it's your timeline, it's yours. Own it. Own it is the way I have always been. You have a passion, chase it. Don't let it go. So it doesn't bring in the big income. Understood. But I've lived all this time in such low income. like, like, oh wow. What it'd be like to be driving. I did. I took 4 days, had to go visit brother-in-law, needed an all-wheel drive to go to Minnesota because of weather conditions. And this is what we got. A 2022 we rented, they gave us a BMW, which I was 6 inches off the ground. I'm looking at this, and my husband's looking at me. I said, you gotta be joking. You need an SUV all-wheel drive design, and we get a BMW? And we're driving this. We used very little gas. We filled up twice. And first time, it even has a sports speed. And my husband, we're looking at each other going, you gotta be joking. We have 20-some-year-old vehicles sitting in our driveway and we're driving a 2022 BMW. Do you know what that emblem means, Michelle? So in my world, when it comes to quoting, it's about don't judge yourself. Just don't judge yourself. Take it the next level and be happy about how you approach and how you receive knowledge, acknowledgement. Be proud of it because you really worked for it. You just don't know it. And it will show up somewhere down the line. Honestly, it does. It shows up in grandkids. It shows up, and it's most unexpected places in your world. Seriously, accomplishments in your business life can be spectacular, but you don't see it. But the first time you see your very first grandchild, it just all of this work, and look what we have. It's a real human life. It's a human. It's real. It's out. It's
Yeah,
out.
I
It's
like
out
that. I'm gonna copy that. I will call you on that though. Resilience is brilliance. I love that. I really
there.
do.
That's Willie. That's Willie.
I know. I
I
love
bounced the
that.
ball.
That's right.
I'm
And
an athlete.
no,
Yeah.
I can't run. No. You be like CJ run. Nope. You're gonna die. Yep.
Appreciate
This
that.
is going to save your life. Sorry, save your own because I am not running. I'm not a runner at all. I can do triathlon and mathematics, economics, finance. Running, no, not so much. Just not happening. Art, I can't draw either, so
Oh,
it's not going to happen. I know my limitations. Okay,
we
I'm
got to
pretty
stop by.
right. I was like, I
We
can't,
got to
but I
stop
love that.
by.
Right? You can pick me
We
up
got
when
to
you're
stop
2022.
by.
We don't have snow. We don't have snow in California. Thank you for that. Steven, how about you, sir? What is your quote?
So I'm really honored because Willie J is my man, and
Same to you, man.
uh,
Likewise.
got you, my friend. My quote is: embrace your journey. Honor your personal boundaries, and remember that every step towards your life is going to take you to this place of greater peace, understanding, and joy. Your story isn't finished yet. Let each chapter be written with intention, faith, hope, and love. It's a good life, my friends. Let's live it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love it. So amazing. Dr. New, your turn. What's your quote?
So I think I'm going to quote from my chapters. So I think, well, in your adversity is not a weakness, but your superpower, a unique aspect of who you are. So embrace your uniqueness, believe in yourself, and know that you can overcome any obstacles, but be mindful that you're the power that you have within your thoughts and the words, for they possess the capacity to also shape your destiny and influence the world around you. And so know that you're not alone on this journey, and remember that you're not alone and that we are better together. And let us choose love, kindness, empathy as your guiding principle. No matter what strategy, whatever funnels, what other gurus is telling you, remember your values, remember your purpose, remember who you are and what are you meant to be here for. And remember to pass it on. So, love you all.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Sister Danielle, she's still writing and taking notes.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm always learning and growing, but um, one thing that is a stronghold for me is my faith, and it has certainly gotten me through the hardest days. And so I was looking for something else, but what is in my heart is that God is my shield and my refuge. And so anytime I've gone through things, I remember that, and I find power in that. I really feel that that's my superpower is my faith. And when I rely on that, I can really thrive. So, yes, that is what I will leave everyone with today.
Thank you. Sister Susanna. Take your time, sister.
I'm going to go back to a quote I always loved by Patton, George S. Patton Jr. The test of success is not what you do when you're on top. Success is how high you bounce when you hit the bottom. And that's what every one of these stories, every one of these chapters is. It's how far each one of these authors bounced after hitting bottom, whatever bottom was for them. And it's something that, I mean, I'm a cavalry officer, so Patton was my hero growing up. A tanker through and through. Patton principles, and this is one of his principles. And to be able to sit down and look at how high each one of us has bounced from hitting bottom. It says a lot about each person that's in this book. It says a lot about, and I've said it this way before, each story is from somebody's soul. And this book, the soul of this book, is comprised of the soul of 27 stories.
Sorry, that's Cheerio. She's like, yes. She's like saying that. The soul, wait, hold on. The soul of what? What was that? No, that's the movie. Come on, my ADHD just bounced on me. What was that?
Yeah, I've been dealing with it all night. The soul of each story of each author is what made the soul of this book. So the soul of the book is made up by 27 individual souls. And the thing is, the soul of the book, in this case, you can argue that it's bigger than the 27 souls, or you can argue that it's less than the 27 souls, because each of those souls is so powerful.
I love that. We are energy beings. She likes to talk. I know she's like trying to talk over here. She's like, Mom, let me talk. She's so funny. For me, my chapter is about ADHD. So it could be anybody really, right? Just embrace your differences, whether it's ADHD, bipolar, depression, anxiety, whatever you're going through. It's not a limitation. It's just a stop. It's a pit stop right now of your life. It's gonna go and pass you. You're unique in your own lens, and don't let anybody dim your light, right? And definitely practice self-compassion, because understanding yourself and understanding your process is more important than trying to please others to understand you. If you don't understand yourself, your limitations, your weaknesses. Okay, I'm talking about SWOT analysis. I understand this is not a lecture, guys, but here it goes. Know your strengths, at least 3 of your strengths. Know your weaknesses, your hot buttons. I have triggers. I apparently have more than 3 triggers. Your opportunities to grow. Lots of opportunities to grow. And be true to yourself. No one is watching. And what is your threat? My composition is my threat. Warren Buffett even told me that. I met him in person. I was 21 when he met me. When I'm upset, you could see it on my face. My soul over here would probably be black when I'm really like, oh, right? Like you see green right now? Ooh, we can have pink full moon tomorrow. Anyway, your story's just started. The rest is still unwritten. So it's up to you to write it. Don't let anybody fool you you're less than. Then you're living a fool's life. You're in control. You have choices. Make one. Make crazy ideas. I don't care. We'll just join our crazy ideas together. We'll put it out to the world, but never stop learning. Never stop self-reflecting. Never stop accepting your flaws and say, yup, I did that, Scar. So what? I haven't died yet. Because you could die tomorrow, and then you just stop thinking, oh, I cannot do this. Why not? I don't have money. Dr. Bose got her PhD. 20 years of who in here had 20 years to get their associate's degree? Some of us might not even have that. It's okay. We're telling you it's not too late. If you want it bad enough, go get it. No one and nothing stopping you but yourself, your limiting beliefs, your limitations. Don't limit yourself. The crazier the ideas, it should make you smile. You're like, it's never going to happen. Yup. And in back of you, the other side, you're like, yup, I'm going to make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. No excuses whatsoever. Even if you have to cry, crawl, walk, okay, maybe not run, walk, do it. You can do it. And if you need a crazy partner, any of these people right here will be crazy partner for you. I just volunteered all of them for the world to see, right? And I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. Our book, hello, it is available now over an hour ago. Every single purchase, guys, is gonna go towards planting trees and giving jobs to farmers. So thank you guys so much. Bye, everybody. I know we're like 21 minutes over. I didn't care. Love you guys. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for Team Replay. We will see you soon. Bye, everybody.